Cosmic rays evolved consciousness and transformed DNA data. 29 years ago, something happened and the world felt it. The first globally synchronized meditation coming known as the first harmonic convergence took place. Tens of thousands of people gathered all around the world at sites that were ancient sacred sites on the planet to coordinate their intention. And what intention? This is by Jose Arguelles, who initiated the meditation, and he put it this way: there comes a point when things have to change. A vibration signal was sent out. Where the signal was coming from, whether it was coming from our genetic coding, whether it was coming from the earth, whether it was coming from outer space, or whether it was coming from all of those, the signal went out and the people responded to a signal. It's very much like when a species gets a signal to change the direction of its migration pattern. And it was from that year on that human mind began to open up more than ever it has ever before. Even though the status quo resisted these new ideas, more and more people began seeing through the old paradigm of war, environmental destruction, poverty, slavery, materialism, and instead opening their eyes and minds to a more holistic worldview. People began questioning the many structures of society, and suppressed information began to resurface and become available to the masses. And ever since then, human consciousness has experienced a noticeable acceleration. Now, what's this all about? And why? Is this just some new age speculative talk? As much as world change is not a concept that needs to be backed up by science to be recognized as important, interesting studies have shown that this evolutionary movement is not just a coincidence or a simple initiative for a few individuals. The whole cosmos seems to be in this. Now, what about cosmic rays and human DNA? Before delving into the significance of this, that's when it took place in 1987, we have to explore what scientists discovered to be a key factor in the evolution of life and the cosmic rays. Cosmic rays are light waves of a very high frequency that have been shown to transform human DNA. Of course, they can damage it, and therefore affecting human evolution. In fact, an analysis of ice cores extracted from polar stations in Greenland and Antarctica demonstrated that about 12,000 years ago and 34,000 years ago, an incredible increase in cosmic rays occurred. Scientists were astonished to find that both times correspond to periods of great leaps in human evolution in terms of art, technology, and state of consciousness. Andrew Collins, a science and history writer who studied the effects of cosmic rays, said, "The effects of cosmic rays on our own genetics has led to mutations within the body, within the mind, the brain, and has altered our perception of reality." He says the correspondence between ancient cosmic ray levels and sudden evolutionary leaps and human technology and art are facts. Even as far back as 1973, famous science writer and astronomer Carl Sagan spoke about how cosmic rays cause DNA mutations and would have affected human evolution. Cosmic rays are passed through the Earth and our bodies all the time due to ambient processes of the cosmos, hence why there is always a slow and gradual evolution taking place. However, in 1987, the same year when a spark of change was being felt across the world, something different did take place. A supernova occurred close enough to Earth that it was visible to the naked eye. But what does that have to do with anything? A supernova is a rare stellar explosion, so powerful that its radiation can briefly outshine the entire galaxy, releasing as much energy as the sun is expected to emit over its whole life. But what type of energy are supernovas known to emit? You guessed it, cosmic rays. 1987 supernova, scientifically referred to as supernova 1987A, propelled evolution changing, including cosmic rays throughout the universe that have reached planet Earth and are still affecting us to this day. In 1987, an evolution in consciousness began, followed by a growing global movement for change. Coincidence or not, the connection between rising frequencies and rising consciousness is factual. Are you aware that a shift in human consciousness is occurring, even as you read these words, you hear these words, that employ celestial triggers such as supernovas and Earth's alignment with galactic center in the years leading up to, that led up to 2012 to trigger the evolution of species. This is what Sol Luckman said. Around and after the year 1987, many other celestial events have occurred, the most known being a massive increase in solar flares, also producing cosmic rays, and a rapid decrease of the Earth's magnetic field, both of which are happening to this day. And of course, no one knows why the Earth's magnetic field is decreasing. The Earth's magnetic field is known to act as a shield against high frequencies. So what happens when it weakens? All the goodness of high frequencies sweeps right in. Now, many would think this crazy because of the common belief that they're dangerous. However, the purpose of cosmic rays and other high frequencies isn't to fry us alive, but to gradually instigate the evolution of our DNA, the blueprint of our level of consciousness. And according to medical science, we have 2 strands of DNA and 10 strands of junk DNA, which are believed to have no purpose whatsoever. Well, I purposely think that if we have that DNA, of course it has a purpose. Now, what if this so-called junk DNA is merely dormant DNA? Studies show that our dormant DNA is now reactivating. Dr. Berenda Fox, physiologist and naturopath who was later on silenced by the government and given a bad name to suppress such information, said it to herself. Everyone has one double helix of DNA, and what we are finding is that there are other helixes that are being formed. In the double helix, there are 2 strands of DNA coiled into a spiral. It's my understanding that we will be developing 12 helixes, and during this time, which seems to have started maybe 5 to 20 years ago, we have been mutating, she says. This is a scientific explanation. It's a mutation of our species into something for which the end result is not yet known. I'm working with 3 children right now who have 3 DNA helixes. Some adults that I have tested actually do have another helix, DNA helix forming, and some are even getting their 3rd. These people are going through a lot of major shifts in their consciousness and physical bodies because it's all one. In my opinion, the Earth and everyone here is raising its vibration. As she said, a lot of the old paradigms can no longer exist, yet are fighting to be maintained, but there is no doubt that it is changing, and those of us who have chosen to live at this time are the forerunners of almost a new species. Now, could this be the beginning of another evolutionary leap? I think so. This is from Collective Evolution, Andrew Collins, Law of Time, Evolutionary Leaps, Rand's Humans Are Free, and it's on Humans Are Free by Alexander Light. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.